co-host here at Fanward, as well as Cody Red. We are so excited because today we have our special guest, Madeline. Madeline has been a member here at Fanward for probably 3 years now. We met through the Power Ranger fandom, as well as PMC, and her love of books and reading and Lord of the Rings. We're going to talk about what inspires her as a writer as she is creating now. And she has a lot of projects coming up, and we can't wait to share them with you. And Madeline Blue. I keep saying Madeline Blue. I keep calling you Madeline Blue in my mind.
I love it. Go for it.
I'm like, it's Madeline Blue. What? Of course, we have Cody Red, also aka FC Marrow, also aka Marrow Labs in the house.
Also,
I feel like
K-pop fan. We're talking about
also massive K-pop fan. I feel like I'm excited today because I'm surrounded by these writers, so I'm just like this facilitator on a dating show. Be like, oh, do you match? Let's see what you have in common.
Yeah, you just sit there and let us talk, okay?
Except I know what you have in common, so this is my favorite things. I don't know. I'm like, do I start off with your love of Lord of the Rings? Do I start off with like, where did you start off as a writer? Who inspired you? And I am going to let you guys know towards the middle or the end, we are going to be talking about Madeline's project. I'm so excited. She messaged me offline. The cool thing, and this is what gets Cody and I excited, is not only get to know the fans and the fandom and the people that we care about over the years, but to see the projects that like come from the community and be able to highlight that here and be able to get excited about it with you, because it's just, you guys are what keeps fandoms alive. You're what keeps art alive, why movies keep being made. And so to not only see you come up and support the different creators and actors that you love, but then going, now I'm going to do something for myself and I'm going to like dare to dream on my terms. I was inspired by these people, but now it's my turn. So I'm like, fuck yes, it's your turn. I'm far enough into the podcast I can say fuck yes now, so I won't get Cody's always like, wait 3 minutes or something, whatever it is. Cody, your camera turned off, amazing. Bro.
I turned it off.
Cody's camera turned off. We're good. He's coming back.
I'm the master of my destiny.
Yes, he is.
There you go.
So, welcome. Cody, do you want to start with a question, or do you just where do you want to go?
Well, look. You actually said something witty for once, and you said, do you guys want to start talking about Lord of the Rings, or do you want to start talking about what first made you want to be a writer?
Mm-hmm.
Now, I don't know about Madeline, but for me personally, Lord of the Rings was the reason that I first started wanting to be a writer. Tolkien is a god. Tolkien was the guy that created Lord of the Rings. If you don't know who J.R.R. Tolkien is, get out from under your rock. Tolkien, the guy who created Lord of the Rings, was an Oxford professor of language and wanted to write a story that was basically an alternate history of Europe. Which is amazing. Yeah. When you think about Lord of the Rings that way, it's amazing because that's also what Conan was. Conan the Barbarian, the Conan Barbarian stories were also meant to be alternate history of real world events. So at the end of Lord of the Rings, when everybody goes out to the Grey Havens, it's actually making way for the history that we know, which is amazing, right? But that is what sparked me to want to be a writer. Because it's like, that is the most amazing, insane, crazy, awesome idea I've ever heard. And look, I've got her Facebook page open here because I always stalk people while we're interviewing them. And her profile picture is literally her with Frodo Baggins himself. So, Madeline, how did Lord of the Rings impact you as a writer?
So, mine is slightly different because I'm much younger. I'm in the younger group, but and I had no idea what Lord of the Rings was. My dad. I'm still a baby. I think of myself as a baby. I don't know.
We're all babies here.
We're all babies. It's true.
Yes.
I had no idea what Lord of the Rings was. My dad wanted to go see the movie, so we went, and that was it. I was 12. That'll date me. That's fine. I was 12 sitting in that theater, and I had never been emotionally captured like that before, ever. I'm the kid who watched Hook on repeat as a toddler. I'm the kid who watched Disney movies whenever. Right? But I loved movies. I've always loved stories. I could sit and watch my parents on stage and I was perfectly quiet as a child. I was that kid. And so I always loved stories, but had never been fully pulled into one before until these movies. Part of that I can admit was because I might have had a massive crush on Elijah at the time.
Oh, didn't I was like,
But
Valid.
I mean, that helped.
Valid.
That helped. But it was the story. It was the way the actors performed. I've always gravitated toward that, probably because I am an actor. But even then, I went home that night, opened up a doc on my computer and started writing the worst ripoff version script ever. Of course, I had no idea how to write a script, so I just started writing. Like, it was that night. It was instantaneous, and from there, I was hooked.
oh,
And then when
awesome.
The Return of the King happened 2 years later, and I still remember, no, I still remember to this day sitting in the theater as the credits rolled with tears in my eyes saying, that's what I want to do. I want to be them.
wow.
And then more scripts happened, because at that point, not that I don't love being an ensemble actor, I do, but I wanted to be more than that. I wanted to give more to the art, and so I started writing roles for myself.
Oh.
And then this story happened X amount of years later.
Yeah.
So for me, it was more the
Um,
movies. I've tried to read the books. I'm still trying. Tom Bombadil, I can't get past it. I don't know what my problem is. I'm trying though. I am trying. I will conquer that mountain eventually.
Well, our journey isn't too different because I started with the movies too. I started with the movies and was like, holy moly, I got to read this. So then I started
Mhm.
reading Lord of the Rings from beginning to end, all the way through once a year. And I did that for, I think,
Mm.
10 or 15 years straight. I read Lord of
It's
the
a
Rings
lot
every
of
year.
reading.
That
Yeah.
is.
Well, I was the high school freshman that read James Clavell's Shogun, which is like 1,500 pages every year.
Yeah.
I read that every year.
Woo!
But with
Cody's
Lord
the
of the
person that
Rings-
reads to me because I need to be read to. If you're going to get me through a book that thick, I need to be
Look,
read to.
When I turned
Listen.
my camera off earlier, it's because I had to go get my
Oh,
book.
yes.
Because
Hail.
my book is this size
Yes.
because of Tolkien.
Woo!
Tolkien is the reason my book is
Yes.
630 pages, 630 pages. Tolkien is the
Woo!
reason for that. And when it comes to that writing style and how in depth and thorough every one of his descriptions are, he literally at one point explains the bark on a tree that they're sitting next to. Like, that's
Mhm.
how in depth of a writer he is. But what that does,
It's
what that
masterful.
form of writing does, is that it gives you a cinematic view of what's going on, where there's no hose to fill in, right? Which a lot of writers want you to fill in the hose. Tolkien said, nah, I'm going to tell you exactly what time of day it is. I'm going to tell you where the drops of dew are. But what that does is it influences the reader or the viewer of the movies in a cinematic way. So one of the things Bobby Calloway and I talked about is that we don't write stories. We write movies. And I think that's why Madeline immediately went to the whole, I've got to write a script now and I don't know what I'm doing, but I got to do it. Where it's just
Pretty
like,
much.
there's so much detail, something on my face making me itch. I don't know what that is. That there's something about the way that those movies are, from
Yeah.
the Shire all the way up to Minas Tirith, right? There's something about the way that they are. It's like, oh my God, I love movies, dude. Like,
Yeah.
it's the first time where you go, I love movies, not just I love a movie, right? I love Star Wars,
Movies.
right? I love,
Yeah.
whatever, Wrath of Khan, whatever it is. Lord of the Rings said, no, I love movies because this is amazing. And I guarantee you that Tolkien, in his grave is like, aha, I got you.
Right?
Dude was a genius,
Point for
bro. He was
me.
a genius.
He was.
Right.
100%.
Wait, what
He was
year
so
were
good.
his books written?
A long time ago. World War II, I believe.
Yeah, I was gonna say I think it was in the 40s.
Because I think about this when it comes to art, when you see, like, you'll see writers or you'll even see these different directors and movie makers create scripts and create things that are before their time, before there's even, the enough technology to like capture what they're saying, enough of the lighting and the color and all the people that go into making a movie. And I think that's what's so cool about these books. When I'm like, I'm going, okay, during that time, like you talked about the cinematic, the way the description in the books, like they're writing for the future. They're not just writing for the people now, but they're writing for the future
Exactly.
storytelling. And I think that's what's so cool, because it created this perfect space for you to go to a theater and see all that detail and feel everything in the movies. I mean, dude, those movies were so they were so
Yeah.
detailed. I mean, those were
So
like
Yeah.
ones that
yeah.
my whole family watched, and then my sister, it's the ones that also inspired her. And then of course we had every possible like game around it. We played Monopoly around it. We had to get all of like everything around
Yes.
Lord of the Rings. I was like, I'm like, no more. I don't know if we can have any more posters. Okay, I have to ask you a question though. When it came to Elijah Wood, what did you watch? I watched him the first time because of Flipper.
Oh, heck yeah. I've seen
I-
Flipper. I've seen.
I was wondering, I was like, what was your first Elijah
Oh, of
Wood?
course
'Cause
I've seen
I had
Flipper.
such a crush on him when I was a
Such
kid.
a
That's
crush.
the only
Actually, the
reason
first
why I
movie-
watched Lord.
The first movie I saw him in was Deep Impact on my birthday.
Oh my, yes.
Ooh, good movie. Good movie.
Right?
Good
Such
movie.
a good movie. And then after I discovered that I liked just the way I loved him as an actor. Now I've since and gone and seen as much as I can just to bask
Yes.
in his talent. And I can officially say that I was worried in line the whole time that I would pass out in front of him, and I did not.
Okay, so you
I
did.
cry?
Okay, how many
I
of the
did.
cast did you
I
meet?
met all 4 hobbits. I have met all 4. Did not cry once, which is good because you want to have some composure. Did I cry walking away from his
Right.
table? Yes, I did.
Hey, I almost cried when I met William Shatner, so don't feel bad. When I met Captain
Okay,
Kirk, I
I
thought I
also
was
have
going
a
to die.
Shatner story. He came to
Oh,
FanX
fantastic.
Salt Lake last year. He came last year. My mom and I got a picture, and he was sitting at his table, and we like ducked down to like be all on the same level. And he said, "No, stand up straight." Yes, sir.
The captain tells you to
Yep.
stand up straight. You stand up straight.
You stand
Are you
up straight.
serious?
We thought we'd all be on the same level, and he's like, "No, don't do that. Stand up straight." So we both okay. It was amazing.
I have
was
a
amazing.
Shatner story too. I have a Shatner story too,
Yes.
if I can tell it real quick.
Yes.
So when I went to actually get my picture taken with Shatner, it was Lexington Comic-Con. I don't even
Nice.
remember what year. I know my kid was really, really tiny, but he was already 80. Like that was his 80th birthday, I think, was that weekend. So he was using a cart to get around the arena, and he couldn't get we were all like outside in that like external hallway resting because the con drains your energy like a vampire.
It does. Yeah.
And just a bunch of cosplayers out there sitting and chilling. And Shatner is like
Yep.
in the far back alley trying to drive this electrical cart, and he can't get it to move. And everybody just starts laughing. I'm like, hey, he's the captain, not the pilot. Leave him alone. And, he just needed his Sulu. Sulu wasn't there to pilot the thing. But I
Exactly.
made William Shatner laugh, so I can die happy.
Yeah, that's bravo.
He was great.
That's amazing.
He was great. He's a silly guy.
How many cons have you been to, Madeline, over the years? And what are like your favorite ones? Because I remember when we went to PMC, you and I were talking about the Lord of the Rings one, and you hadn't quite. We were
It
like
was-
you were
it
talking
was
about.
that-
Okay, I'm gonna
that
try to
month
go.
later. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, it was
Wait,
it was just the next month. That was 2024. Yeah.
Yeah.
That was a big
Did
year
you-
for me. When you
I was
think
gonna
about
say,
it.
I was like, I know, because I was like, I remember us talking. I'm like, wait, when was the first? Did you start going to cons with a family member, a friend, or like when was your first one?
Yeah, my mom and I went to FanX Salt Lake the year before because Michael J. Fox was coming. That was enough to get us out of the
Cool.
house.
Cool.
Got a picture with him also. Worth it. Not
Oh.
cheap. Worth every penny. Because that'll never happen again.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, no.
I mean,
Man.
but that was enough. I mean, I knew about FanX, but I never really paid attention to it. Elijah had been before. Where was I? Under a rock, apparently. I don't know. But like Harry Potter people have come. I don't know where I was.
Wow.
But that was enough to get me there. And then I just saw that was my first con experience ever, 2023. And I loved the ambiance. I loved that people were like full on dressing up like it was Halloween again. I was like, these are my
Yes.
people. Like, this is awesome. And so now,
Yeah,
and then
it's exactly what it feels
2024
like.
was PMC FanX, and then I went last year as well to FanX again. And I'm hoping to go this
So-
year. We'll see.
So while we're talking about cons, can I ask a question? Because I'm stalking your Facebook.
Yes.
You have a picture with Ki Hoi Kwan. And I am a gargantuan Everything Everywhere All at Once fan. I bring it up, I think, in every podcast.
Every podcast.
Yes.
So
Yes.
it's the last good movie Hollywood made. Okay, that's all I'm saying. How
For now.
I want to know
For
from
now,
us
yes, Madeline's
as a-
next.
right for now, as a storyteller, I want to know what did you think of that movie and its nonlinear? What did you think of Everything Everywhere All at Once as a storyteller? Because I don't have anybody to talk to about it.
I know.
It took me a minute to get into like what was happening, to be honest.
Yeah.
Because it wasn't
Yeah.
what I thought it was going to be, and so I was like trying to like center, ground myself in it. Once I got through all the chaos of what it was doing, which now that I think about it was actually kind of brilliant. Like
Mhm.
I know it's not everyone's cup of tea, and that's fine. Like it's just not going to be because of the way it was told storytelling wise. But I actually really liked it because as I've thought about it since I've seen it, my mom's going to go, "No, you didn't. It's not true." I've thought about it since, or she's ignoring me. It's fine. You never know. She's upstairs, so I don't know. As I've thought about it since, it's so. I loved that it was centered on family. Like that was the core. Like you had to like really pay attention to it the first couple minutes, but once I latched onto that,
Yes.
then I understood what was happening, and I loved that. I feel like there isn't enough character centered, family centered. Not that it has to be like religious family centered. That doesn't have to be that.
Right.
But I feel like that kind of that closeness. I loved that. I feel like I miss that in storytelling. When it's
think
the
that's my
people at the
favorite thing
center of
about
it,
that
not
movie.
necessarily the spectacle, and not necessarily not that I didn't love the spectacle because I did. And
Right.
the fight scenes were crazy awesome. They just
Yeah.
were.
I think that's my
But
favorite thing
I
about that
love
movie, and the
that.
reason I keep bringing it up. I think the reason I keep bringing it up is because it's a crazy bonkers like sausage finger movie, right? But
Right.
the story between her and her husband, and
Mhm.
like the scenes, like in some reality, I would have loved to have done laundry with you, like that kind of stuff. It just,
Yes.
I think that's why I talk about that movie so much, because I don't watch a movie and see that anymore. I don't
Exactly.
see scenes like that. And it's like
Mhm.
after that movie was over, we walked out of the car garage at the mall, and I was like, "So when are we gonna go see it again?" My wife was like, "I don't want to cry again." The scene with the rocks on the cliff. Okay, I'm bringing it up again. I don't
Oh,
care.
I
The
love
scenes
this.
with the two rocks on the
yes.
cliff. How can two rocks who aren't saying anything make me cry? That's good
Exactly.
writing. Like that comes down to the
Yes.
writing. It has nothing to do with the movie.
Yes.
They have orchestrated something here where it's so emotionally resonant. Like you resonate emotionally so strongly that two rocks on a mountain make you cry with no words.
Mhm.
That's why I want to talk
Yeah.
to a writer about it, because I know as a writer you understand that the emotional impact of a character and story are paramount, right?
Paramount.
In my
100%.
opinion, the characters are even more paramount. Your characters are more important than anything else you
Mhm.
do. So like, I
100%.
think that's why I wanted to bring it up. Yeah, because I don't get to talk to a lot of writers. I get to talk to Bobby. Bobby's great. You would probably love Bobby if you've never spoken to him. Bobby's just my soulmate. But
Love
he's
it.
a writer also. And every time we talk, I just feel inspired, right? So while you're here, I want to try to inspire you. So think about those two rocks on that cliff next time you're writing dialogue.
I'm gonna have to. As I'm going
That's my
through the feature
segue.
script and fine tuning, I'm gonna remember that.
Yeah,
I do
just
have
put
a
two rocks
question,
on a
like,
cliff.
when you guys do write, like, how do you think about, because we've talked, Cody and I have talked about this
I don't
so many
think when I
times.
write.
Okay. No, I'm being honest. Like, no, but I'm like, when I think about this, because like the shows, we've talked about this, some of the movies like we've watched now are like, I'll go and see. I'm like, I feel like I'm missing that ache. I feel like I'm missing that deeper connection where it's almost there, and then they didn't take me a step closer. I miss the vulnerability. I miss
Yep.
almost that riskiness, that fear of like when you get tight in your stomach. Like there's very few movies that like get me. Where I get emotional is typically between like a father, a child parent scene, or someone losing someone, but it's not from like, it's like a couple seconds. It's not throughout the whole entire movie where I feel like this
Yeah.
ache and that build up, and then there's like, oh, I'm satisfied, or like I'm completely devastated. You know, I'm like, I haven't been devastated by a
Exactly.
movie in a long time. I tend to go towards TV shows now because I get to build a relationship, and I feel like but even TV shows, I'm finding myself fasting forward to go to key moments because even the
Or
stories
like
in
doom
between.
scrolling on my phone. Yeah.
Yes, I'm doing both. I'm like,
Yeah.
I'm not present. I'm not like pulled in where I think that's where I miss the feeling because I don't know how you guys, I would love to know how you guys watch movies, but I have like
I use my eyes.
You're so annoying sometimes. This is why I have Madeline here. This is why I need to have other people. Just kidding.
We have to bring on a guest every once in a while just to keep me in check.
just so we don't annoy each other. I'm just kidding. We talk every day. I love him so
Well,
much.
I'm not Charles Xavier. I have to use my eyes to watch.
Yes.
I can't just.
Okay. Dude, you could close your eyes. You could be listening. I close my eyes. I listen. You're a
That's true.
writer. Shouldn't you be listening? Like, it's about the whole words. Fuck you. Anyways,
I love
just kidding.
making her life
Exactly.
difficult.
He's
I love
so-
her.
he-
I
it's
love
so
making.
annoying. You're
I get
so
paid
annoying.
to make her life difficult, and it's
He
amazing.
actually
It's
does,
the
which
greatest
is
thing ever.
really odd, but it works. It inspires
It's the
me.
greatest thing ever.
I'm like, your annoyance like really inspires me. Anyways, to do something different. Okay, so just kidding. I hate you. But like, I'll either do headphones or I find myself now watching on my phone, or I have an iPad because I want it close. Like, I want to feel like I'm getting lost in something. And I don't know, it's from my lack of when I go out and watch a movie, maybe the movie isn't pulling me in enough. So I'm like trying to find something to like pull me in. But it's like, I don't know, it's just very interesting. Like, how do you like watching like a good movie? How do you prepare for it? I guess, like, how do you prepare for a rewatch or a really good movie?
That's actually a pretty good question. I'm not gonna lie.
That is a good
thank you.
question. How do I mean, I rewatch. We'll bring it back to. I rewatch Lord of the Rings every year. Only the extended edition. I can't do theatrical anymore. I
Yes, good. Yes, thank you. The Faramir and
I can't
Boromir
acknowledge
scenes.
them
Come
anymore.
on.
I can't
No.
do it.
Yeah. Thank
Can't
you.
do it. And I'll also rewatch the Harry Potter films every year.
Also
and
valid.
I mean, around Halloween, like, because it starts in Halloween. Well, the first one has Halloween in it, so that's when we do it. I don't know why. It's just fun. Maybe it helps the November lull. I don't know.
Yeah.
But I approach rewatching it. For me, I guess because it's Lord of the Rings, it pulls me in instantly. Every time without fail. I cry at the same points every single time. Part of that might be the nostalgia of remembering what it did the first time. But also, I genuinely think that was just lightning in a bottle. It was not only the writing, it was the casting. I firmly believe in casting. That's why when I write, I pre-cast in my head. Every role is pre-cast. And as I'm doing a scene, if a line doesn't sound right coming out of that person's mouth, I do not use it, or I'll tweak it. If I'm not going to believe it when I hear it in my head, I'm not going to believe it when I watch it. And I feel like I don't want to bash. I don't want to bash the spectacle movies because we've needed them. But like, here's a good example: Top Gun Maverick, the second one.
Yes.
That's what it was called. Duh. First one was Maverick. Top Gun Maverick was a perfect movie. Yes, there was spectacle, but there was heart. There was this. I mean, it was perfect, and I feel like, yes, I loved it. I cried, but I also was like, this is like planes flying in the air, like this is awesome. Like it had a little bit of everything, and I feel like we've missed that because superhero spectacle stuff took over for so long, where we weren't focused on content. We were focused on the special effects. We were focused on building up, I can make more than you. We'll do this spectacle. We'll do this. And then there's the Christopher Nolan 4-hour movies that, as much as I love Christopher Nolan, I cannot do a 4-hour movie.
Dude, those
I make
so
the
long.
exception.
I cannot
for Lord
do
of the
a
Rings.
4-hour movie. Okay, I was about to say, I cannot do a 4-hour
I
movie,
make the
but only
exception
watch
for
Lord of the
Lord
Rings
of the
extended. Right.
But I
Valid
cannot.
exception.
I mean, there's a way to handle, if you're gonna make a movie that long, there's a way to handle it. But
Yeah.
and yeah, so to go back to your question, I focus
I love
on
this.
if I don't believe it here, I'm not going to believe it when I see it.
Mm.
And is that putting too much pressure on an actor? Maybe, but there's also enough talent in the world that you can find those people who will then give you that you are the vehicle for them to then
Right. Well, I mean,
bring
that's the whole
that
reason you write them
connection.
that way, right? The whole reason you
Exactly.
write them that way is because you know it can be done. Like Olivia knows with me, I always pre-cast my books before I write them.
Yes.
Like I know every actor in this. Willem Dafoe's in here. I can find him. He's in here.
Dafoe.
Oh, I
love
love
Willem
Willem
Dafoe.
Dafoe. I could do a whole podcast
I
on Willem
That's
Dafoe.
amazing.
Fucking,
We need
yeah.
to. Okay, put
But-
that on the list.
that pre-casting, because I found out that Bobby does it too. I'm gonna bring up Bobby a lot because he's my baby.
They're
I
really-
love it. I love it.
But we precast these stories because we have such and it is token-esque in a way where we have such a profound belief in the characters and the things that they're going to do, and we understand how human those things are and how human that dialogue is, that we understand who could do it. Like when I wrote Silas
Okay.
Hibbins in my book, almost first line I was like, oh, this is Willem Dafoe. Like, yeah, this is just Willem Dafoe. It has to be. And it wasn't
You can
long
like
after
feel
I
his
saw the
presence
Lighthouse.
in your head. Yeah.
Yeah, which is really
Oh.
scary. By the way, like you just
That's
have Willem
fair.
Dafoe sitting in your
That's
head
valid.
going, it's not cool. But it's like you have these things happen because we've seen them in movies, right? I've seen The Lighthouse a dozen times, and I'm like, Willem Dafoe was in my book. He has to be in my book. Or you've seen, whatever. You've seen something with Elijah Wood in it, and you go, oh, well, he's this character. Or a big
Exactly,
one for me
yeah.
is Ian McKellen. Ian McKellen's presence is undeniable. Patrick Stewart is another. Patrick Stewart is just my favorite actor of all time for a reason. And Patrick Stewart, I remember falling asleep when I was younger to Star Trek The Next Generation on TNN. I would fall asleep to that. So the song from Star Trek The Next Generation is my lullaby. I hear it and I'm immediately just, I'm done.
I
So,
love that.
When I think of Patrick Stewart, I think of, and Patrick Stewart is very good at playing villain roles as well. But when I think of Patrick Stewart, I think father figure, I think intelligence, I think nobility, I think honor, I
Yeah.
think respect. So when I'm writing a character like that, I'm like, oh, well, that's just Patrick Stewart. But that's the power of
Yep.
film, right? That's the power of an amazing
Yeah.
actor. That when I think of an emotion or a feeling, I immediately
have a person.
assign it to
Yeah.
Patrick
Yeah.
Stewart. So when I'm writing a story, I'm like, oh, this character's Patrick Stewart, 100%. Or this character is, The Rock, whatever. I don't have a character that looks like The Rock. But I mean, he was just an example. But it was like, if you were going to write a story about, if you were going to write a very wholesome, heartfelt comedy, you would be almost inclined to immediately think of Robin Williams. He would just feel like a Patch Adams type story. Robin Williams is perfect for that. So like I think that pre-casting is important and it shows your wherewithal and your understanding of your own characters and story. And I think that's I
100%.
think that's a powerful thing because I find that not a lot of writers actually do that.
So fascinating.
Yeah, I find that when I mention that, people are like, wait, you precast? Like, why? I'm like, what do you mean, why? Like, that helps
Right.
me latch on to the character. Not that I couldn't do it without them, I could. And I actually tried that with writing the feature script. I tried really hard not to precast it, just to see if I could put the heart on the page. And it worked. It was a really rushed draft. It's actually the draft my director read. She still
love
loved it
this.
anyway, so that works.
Yes.
She loved it anyway, but I liked moments of it, and there are scenes, most of the scenes I kept. But when I went, nope, I got to put the precasting in. Then lines sharpened, beats between lines sharpened because I could see it with specific people. Does that mean I'm gonna chase after them? I just might.
Yes.
But-
Always put it out
and-
there.
I will. I mean, I'm gonna pitch them anyway, because why not? I have nothing
Why
to
not?
lose.
No.
But yeah, I felt like it filled in the color a lot more when I could picture it, and then it translated into my reader, my best friend read this last draft and said she got the spookies.
Ooh.
And I was like, okay, that
That's
was the right
awesome.
move.
yes.
That's the good
She's like-
stuff. And I mean, you've heard directors or writers or producers or whatever say before that this role was written for a specific actor. Like, I can't think of a specific example, but there were people who just say it was either this actor or like nobody. This role was written for them. But
Yep.
I think as a visual writer, as a visual creator, like you, obviously, you writing movie script, duh. But even for me and Bobby, who are both visual writers, visual authors, that having that actor's face and expressions to emote in your head as you're writing it, it's not that they influence it. It's that
No,
they're
they fill it in.
verifying what you're thinking, right? Like when you're putting
Exactly.
those words down when you put those words down, it's not telling you what they're doing. It is justifying that you're doing the right thing. So like
Exactly.
when I write Willem Dafoe in an incredibly emotional scene, it's not that I needed his face to do it. It's that his face said you're on the right path. Because I was viewing it in my head, like a movie. So I don't know. I think it's amazing, and I think I've seen a lot of people, because I've had conversations with them. They just don't do it, and I'm like, how? How do you not do it? Like, I don't know, because we have preconceived notions of these characters. Like
I love this. This is why I'm like, this is why I love hearing, because
I feel
I'm
like
like,
I feel like it helps you write easier. Things come faster, at least for me, because I'm like that. I don't know. I feel like maybe because I'm coming at it also from the actor perspective, I can almost be a step ahead and go, they wouldn't emote that way because they're hearing the lines. So it's like a dual, it's at the same time of both being the writer and the actor. I can sort of pre-anticipate that line would not come out that way because that's not how I would react to that line. But how would I do it from this perspective? It fills in all of those lines when you have that person in your head. Like, did I write a role for Elijah Wood in this one? Yes, I did.
yes.
And so it makes it easier, I think, to fill it in.
The fact that I hear like there's this constant collaboration with energy, even when you're writing technically by yourself, we're never alone. The impact that I see that we have, and this is why I love hearing this, because I'm like, this is why I want more great movies, more great storytelling, because when a show or a person that is taking on a character can hit you so much that you are now creating something and having a full-on conversation and creativity writing session with these actors. To me, I think that is the coolest thing ever, that we are constantly in collaboration. We are constantly, in a sense, we need each other. This is why we need art. This is why, I mean, people know, like, yes, I use AI in the background for a lot of my tech stacks and things like that. It helps me with my project management, helps me with these things. But I'm getting more passionate, and Cody knows this, and excited about going, I want to know if I read a script that was written by AI, I would never be able to have this conversation with you.
No.
And this is the conversation that matters. I would never be able to ask, well, who inspired you? And what was that moment? And it was like, oh, I went to the theater with my dad and I cried and I just got all this emotion. And then it made me want to go do this. It made me want to go do this. I want to go do this. This is the thing that matters to me. This is the thing I'm going, no, it's not just the stories we write and create and the end result. It's not the end result that matters. It's the whole journey that got us to create that. And the end result is the end result of all of the work, all of the tears, all of the excitement, all the anticipation. If that is not there, what's the point of telling stories? Why do I exist?
Exactly.
It's my journey.
Exactly.
The whole point of me getting to a goal is to go back and look at like my whole entire journey and go, wow, look what I learned. If we do not have that, if it's machines writing it, where are our conversations? Where do we get to learn? How are we challenged? How are we inspired? How are we going, oh my goodness, this person didn't become famous till they were 60. Wow, I'm not going to give up hope now. Oh, this person was a child actor. Oh, I'm 12. I can do it now. Like, we look at each other, we inspire each other. And that's why I want to keep having these conversations and going, guys, this is what's happening within our community. Madeline's being inspired by these shows. What are you being inspired? Get out and freaking create.
Do it.
We have to. I'm like, we have to create. I'm like, I feel like it's a movement. It's literally like, I'm like, it's the last frontier. We have to keep creators alive. It feels like a revolution to me sometimes.
It's a revolution of creativity because it's not just AI, right? When you talk about the machine, you're talking about these corporate studios who don't listen. They just keep like go back and watch a 90s animated Disney movie and then go and watch a modern animated Disney movie. The
They are not the
heart,
same. Yeah.
they were literally Shakespearean tragedies in the case of stuff like Lion King or
Lion King,
Hunchback of
yeah.
Notre Dame. You're
Hunchback,
talking
yeah.
about masterpieces of art, right? And
They're
I'm not saying every
shadows of a
Disney.
shadow.
I love.
I feel like it's
Right.
a shadow of a shadow. It's like oh, it's
Mhm.
a like if you cast something on the wall, you're going, oh, I can see the outline. I can see it's like it's kind of blurry. It's there, but it's just out of your reach. I feel like that's that feeling. It's
Yeah.
like slightly out of your reach. It's there and it's slightly a memory, but it's like, oh, the memory's not clear. I've kind of forgotten what you know.
Yeah, it's like
Right?
Disney forgot the art. It's like they forgot the art part of
Mhm.
it and just became a content machine. And that's one of the reasons, like Star Wars fell off for me. And it's like I can go back and watch those original 3 and even the prequels of Star Wars and just be flabbergasted by the universe building and the characters and
Yeah.
Anakin's struggle and Luke's struggle. Like Luke from A New Hope to Return of the Jedi is character growth on an exponential level. Like you're
Yeah.
talking a farmer boy becoming a master of control and power. Like when he first shows up in Jabba's palace in that black outfit, you're like, who the
So
fuck
cool.
is this? Is this
Right?
the same dude who was
Right?
crying last movie? And like,
Nope.
but that's the mastership of
Right, yeah.
Empire Strikes Back and why it's the greatest sequel of all time. Because
Greatest
Empire
sequel, yeah.
Strikes Back, Empire Strikes Back is just storytelling to the umpteenth level. I'm getting fucking chills talking about Empire Strikes Back, and I haven't watched it in like a decade. But the way
That's a
that
great
movie
story.
the way that movie absolutely destroys the heroes and says the end. Why
Yep.
would you not go watch the third one, right? Why would you not go watch the
Right?
third one? The last thing you see is Luke crying because he found out his dad was the bad guy. He has his hand freaking chopped off. No, that's not possible. And then he's sitting on a ship getting medical attention from a robot, and that's how the movie ends. There's no good. That's
Yeah.
how the movie ends. And then a couple years later, I'm getting excited. Then a couple years later, they drop Return of the Jedi, and the first time you see him, black hood, black outfit. Now, we've been told black means bad in Star Wars. Black outfit's bad, right?
Yep.
But he
Yep.
shows up, and he's just like whew, up against a wall. It's I control your mind. You're like, how did all this happen? And the storytelling, the
Exactly.
environmental storytelling is just, oh my God, it's so good. I don't even remember what I was talking about. Disney used to be great, right? That's what I'm trying to say. Disney used to be so good. It was masterpiece. And it's just gone. So when you talk about AI, you're not just talking about artificial intelligence. You're talking about a machine of content.
We're
where it's
talking about the
just
mindset,
movie,
the mindset that's happened.
movie.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, so
So-
let's talk about. Go ahead.
Hold on,
Oh, no,
hold on.
Go.
Let me
I'm
finish
not
real quick.
stopping. You stop it. I'm
So
go-
like
I'm
when
stopping.
Markiplier, when I'm preaching,
Go.
I'm preaching,
Go.
brother.
Cody, go.
When Markiplier releases the Iron Lung and it makes $21 million, that tells me that independent stories are more important than anything else when it comes to creativity. We have to get that
Yep.
shit we want to make out. We got to get it out. I don't care, scrape and claw, spend 11 years on a single book, whatever you got to do, get that stuff out. Get it out. Because the machine is going to keep pumping. The machine's going to keep pumping. But when Markiplier drops a $21 million independent film, people turn and look. That's all
Yep.
I'm saying. I'm done now. You can go with it.
Oh no, that is all I needed to say. Let's intro to what you're working on because that is the perfect intro.
That actually is.
Yes.
It's horror, which if you had talked to me 6 years ago and told me that a story that I would be working on and actually now making would be horror, I would have laughed in your face
Oh
because
wow.
horror was not my thing. As a kid, I thought it was jump scares and gore, and I was like, why is that entertaining? And then I discovered that it could be character centered with stories like Supernatural and Stranger Things, and I went, oh, well, maybe, really how it happened. I'm getting ahead of
Okay.
myself. It all started with an image of a clawed hand dragging a nail down my back as I slept. And instead of being terrified, I was like, what kind of animal or human, what is this? What hand looks like what? It would not let go. I jumped into like mythologies and found the Japanese Baku, Dream Eater, who fed on children's nightmares. And I went, what if instead of nightmares, it evolved into feeding on fear, guilt, memory, trauma, everything that adults go through? Because
my
once
God,
you eat
I
all kids'
love-
nightmares, like there's nothing left for him to feed on. But if he had figured out that adults still have all of that stuff too, now suddenly he can expand. And I realized in wanting to kind of explore how adults work through all of that, I could have told a drama story. I worked with drama. Drama was my preferred genre because it's just people talking, but I went, it would all be internalized. That doesn't work. I need a way to externalize your fear, your guilt, your memory, all of these things. Oh, a monster can do that. A system can do that. So then it became, I did go into ChatGPT because I was trying to make a 40-minute grassroots, scrappy little friends and family movie, and I struggled. I had my opening scene. I knew where it wanted to end. I could not figure out the middle, and I could not figure out why. Writer's block is the worst.
It
I
is.
hate it.
It is.
It is the worst, and I had never struggled with writer's block for this long of a period ever. And so I went, okay, maybe it can help me. So I just kind of word vomited into ChatGPT. I will freely admit,
I love this.
Restrictions on it. It did have restrictions. It could not generate anything. It just had to ask me questions.
That's the best
And when
kind.
I word vomited
prompting you
everything,
back. Oh, I love the prompts.
it could only ask me questions to prompt me. And I realized, oh, you have more than a 40-minute movie here. That's probably why you were struggling. And so then it just became bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. And there's 4 features.
Oh my God.
Instead of just one.
I wonder if I relate to that, considering this is a 4-book series. Like, do I relate to this? I don't know. Huh, weird.
I mean, I've got this proof of concept that will help the feature. I've got a couple other shorts that could kind of interconnect the webbings. I've just barely thought of possibly a little limited series that could also sandwich in between somewhere, just to kind of help spread out the tissue and figure out more, because I realized I had lore, I had mythology that I didn't realize was up here until until it asked me these questions, and it became a horror story that I love so much. It's not jump scare, it's not gore, it's character driven. It is all how that external force now changes these people and how they come together to either fight or stay together or come apart. So yes, there is a physical fear. It will take on a physical form, because why not? But that's not the whole point of the story. It is all the characters. It is
psychological.
Yes, it is 100% psychological.
Well, I think nowadays,
weapons.
psychological horror is the best. I think psychological horror is the best horror, because I used to, like, when I was in high school and everything, I would always write zombie stories. I'm a zombie nerd. But when I first got the idea for Wicker Hill, it was like it was too emotional for like, I don't want to say too emotional for monsters, because there's a monster in it, but you know what I mean? Like, the monster wasn't the focus. The focus was, what is the character struggle, and what is the character journey? Because at the end of the day, monsters are cool, right? But when you leave a movie theater or you put your book down for the last time, what are you remembering? Because if I go watch a Romero film and I sit and I watch Dawn of the Dead, love Dawn of the Dead, I remember all the zombies for sure. I remember the mall, amazing, iconic location. But what I really remember the most about that movie is the scene in like the center part, where they're all like, they've got the mall locked down. The mall's all peaceful, and they can just roam about however they want, and they're having fun with each other. And they're like robbing a bank because, it's the end of the world. Why not? And they're like testing guns, and they're like eating and trying on makeup. That's the part I remember, because when I watched that movie, I realized at the end, I cared about the characters. That was what mattered to me. Like, zombies, hell yeah, zombies, woo, down for it. But the characters. There's a scene
Yeah.
where one of the characters gets bit. He's my favorite character, of course he is, and he gets bit, and the entire time after he gets bit, he's literally dying because he's infected by a zombie. He's like, man,
Exactly.
don't let me come back. He's like, don't let me come back. And when he dies, he starts to raise up under his blanket. And the guy, one of his, who has become his best friend at this point, holds the gun up. And as he raises up under the blanket drops. And you just see this character that you've been following this entire movie zombified.
Ugh.
It shaped, that scene shaped my entire life when it came to horror. And his best friend has to put him down. That is what I remember. And when it comes to psychological horror, that's what the writer forces you to remember. They're not giving you because, you know, like Chucky or Jason Voorhees or Freddy Krueger, these are iconic horror villains. They're iconic horror faces. But the reason they become iconic is because of what they represent. Like Chucky to me, Chucky is my favorite. I love the actor whose name I can never remember despite loving him. He also played in Lord of the Rings, by the way. He played Grima Wormtongue.
Oh, yeah.
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 Amazing voice, right? He's just an amazing actor. And the reason I love Chucky is because he represents a deep-seated childhood fear. That the thing that you love and hold close to you is what you should be afraid of. And then you've got Freddy Krueger, who tells you don't go to sleep because your nightmares are worse than reality. And you've got Michael Myers, who tells you that, like, he's just creepy. But like, we have those things, but the psychological part is why we cling to them. That's the stuff that draws us in. So when you tell me you're writing psychological horror, I'm all about it because that's what I ended up writing, despite being, you know, into all the other stuff. Psychological horror is dope.
No, I would have never.
I rambled. I apologize for that
You
rambling.
did not. No, I love this. This is what dude. We would be so unhappy if we couldn't have a life of rambling. I'd be so depressed.
True though. It's
if
true.
someone told me, it was
It's
like,
true.
stop rambling. What's the point of, like, that is life. I think, well, I love this because Cody's the one who got me. I've never liked horror. Same thing, not jump scares, not like, that was never my thing, but the psychological, and I've told that to him too. I was like, dude, once you get into that psychological, the psychology, the human elements, how we break down things, how we view things, you know, how they deeply affect us and alter our perception, how our reality is based off our own perception, and our perception might not be real. And then you question your own perception, knowing that, fuck, this is the reality, but it might not. You question it. You constant that questioning.
Yep.
And I love a good movie where and I think that was what I loved about Beautiful Mind. And I know I consider that, like, I know it's like, it technically isn't a psychological horror, but for me, when I watch that, when you're in this person's experience and you believe it so much and then you realize it's not real, that in that moment was like, wait, what? I
Right?
believed this so much. So I love that these characters surprised you, and that it all started off with this, like, moment of going, wait, that feeling down your back of going, how do I take this character more? Okay, so as you're taking on this journey, what do you want, if you could tell people, what do you want them to know about it? What do you want people to feel when they experience this and go on this journey with you? And where can they support you? But I first want to know, like, that moment happens, people are like, hey, I'm in. Everyone's donating right now. Like, as we speak, they're dropping their money. They're putting their money in, because it's not money. It's they're jumping in and basically, like, they want to know, they're backing this dream. They want to take this journey with you. What is that journey you're going to tell them about? Why am I going to be excited and nervous and why do I want to be here with you?
Oh, that's it's female-led horror.
Ooh.
Female-directed horror at this point. It's also just, it's intentional storytelling. There was not a thread in this story that isn't there on purpose. I don't have I don't have any of the horror tropes, like the final girl or the dumb character, or I don't have any of that. These are all, every person's important. Every decision has weight. And I feel like I will say this. When I started when I started writing the script, I was one version of me. When I got through the first draft, I was a different person. In that I felt bolder in who I was. I felt more grounded in my body, and that's just because, yes, I was healing my own inner stuff while writing this story. So if it helps start a conversation, or if you just go, that's how I would have gotten my own rage out because I did the same thing that Jenny Slater does, like that's what I want. I want either a conversation to start or you to just feel a little better, a little stronger in your own boots.
It's funny. It's funny that you explain it that way, because Olivia and I've told her before, like writing my book felt like an exorcism. Like I felt like I was exercising myself.
Yeah. I didn't even know I had stuff that was, I don't want to say broken because I never felt broken, but I didn't realize there was stuff that was not fully threaded together until I was going back reading the draft going, I read this all differently. Why?
I love this.
Thank you, Jenny Slater.
But this is why we create, I think and we've talked about this, Cody, I'm like, whenever we're creating something or working on something, I'm like, I don't want to rush it. I want us to have to pick up that story because, oh my goodness, if I don't write right now, something in me won't be revealed. Like I need to, like I'm having a conversation with a part of me that I don't even realize yet. And I think that's what I love about movies is when they come and see your movie, they're going to be able to find themselves in this movie, because I'm saying it's the movie's happened, where I like to talk about how things are already here because they are, but they're going to be able to see versions of themselves in this and then be surprised just as you were about, like you said, if it's just a prompt of going, a new thought enters their mind and they go, I never thought about the world like that. I never thought about my own mind like that. It starts someone on a journey, and that it's a self-discovery. There's nothing like a story that gives you permission to go on a self-discovery and question your own self. I love something that makes me question.
Yeah, how each of the characters deal with their own trauma is all different.
I love that.
Some handle it better than others. And you don't necessarily see that whole journey. Exactly. But you don't see it all in the first, you don't get it all in the first movie. Sorry, guys.
Good.
I breadcrumb it all evenly. And I feel like if at the end of the movie, I'm calling it now, my iconic line is like something that someone gets a tattoo of, I'm like, my job is done.
Yes.
Like, my job is done.
I love that you're willing to take them, though, and going, hey, I'm not going to put it all in one moment, because that is us as humans. Like, we fail. We don't always recover as we would like the first time, maybe the second time, but maybe there's that third time. And if people can go, hey, I resonate with that character that was A, B, C version. Oh, wait, look, I get to be the D version. Anyways, go ahead, Cody. I like that a lot.
Exactly.
I like that.
I think with a psychological horror, if you're writing a movie or a script, you have so much room to say, I'm not giving you all of it at once, right? Like all the people who've read Wicker Hill, they're like, what about this, and this? Well, I was like, well, you got 4 books to go. So I was like, you got a long time to wait. I'm not giving it all to you at once. Aragorn is not king yet. But so like I said, I'm stalking your Facebook. You Shouldn't Have Come Back. That's the name.
Yes.
So tell me why.
Yes.
Yes.
Why?
I named the proof of concept that because in that scene is in the feature. It's pulled directly from. But with the proof of concept, I got to spread it out and add more layers to it. And I didn't have a title at first. And that line I went, oh, that line is the one line in that short that has the most weight that then feeds into the rest. That's got to be it. I could have named it like Baby Damatar or something related to the other feature, but I just thought that line is what sticks with me. When I'm reading the whole thing, I'm like, that's the title.
I think that title tells people,
and it also
who
leaves you
don't know
going,
what your
shouldn't have come
story-
back. Why?
Oh yeah, that's
Right.
It's almost like when someone tells me you shouldn't have come back. My whole feeling is going,
but why?
Yeah,
what happened or
happened?
what yeah,
Yes.
exactly.
The whole
Exactly.
yeah, you
It
create
also
curiosity.
it also tells people who don't know anything about your story that there's something they can resonate with and relate to. So like if I
Mhm.
was to name Wicker Hill like Saracneth, right? Like I'll name it after the main monster. That don't tell you anything. You know, it tells you it might
Nope.
be Lovecraftian horror. But other than that, it doesn't tell you to relate to. When I was thinking of it, I was like
Mhm.
Wicker Hill. That sounds like an old run downtown. That's enough. So that
Mhm.
was like that tells you exactly
Perfect.
where the whole story takes place. And it's like
Perfect.
I think you shouldn't have come back. Almost read. I mean, it literally reads like a warning to the reader, where
Yes.
it's like maybe you shouldn't read this, which is what you want. You want them to
Exactly.
feel that way because they're gonna go because humans are gonna go. I'm gonna watch it anyway, you know. So it's like you can't scare me. You're not gonna get me, and then they leave crying. And that's the dude. If you subvert somebody's expectations like that, you know you're doing your job.
They're gonna leave going, what happened around this moment?
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, it makes
Where's the rest of it? What happened around this moment? Yeah.
well, I feel like an egg. I don't know why. Like I feel this moment of like someone going like you shouldn't have come back. Like it's basic. I don't know why. This is me. It goes the feeling of like I told you you would be hurt. I didn't want to hurt you. I didn't want to do these things to you. I want something more for you even though I ache for you. I told you not to come back and you did it anyways. And now we're going to have to go this journey together because someone's like, "But I did come back." And now it's like, "Fuck." So I
Yeah.
get an ache, so I don't know. So I get this achy feeling of like so I'm just saying no matter what the story is, it makes my mind create a visual in my head and I see
Yeah.
something that goes like I start making my own story up. And so that's what I love about about a great like I was like, okay, that's so you shouldn't have come back. Where can we support so we can start this freaking project yesterday?
Right? I've got an Indiegogo. If you go on there, if you literally type you should SHOU, it literally is the first project that comes up.
Oh,
Yay.
nice. Oh, good
Uh,
job.
Right? I'm like, well, that's convenient.
Yes.
Yeah, it's on Indiegogo. We're going for 20K.
Love it.
That's and hopefully into festivals after that as soon as it gets filmed, and then at some point in the journey pitching the feature version. The director's all, yeah, I'm in. Like, I
Yes.
wasn't even gonna mention it to her until like after, and she was like, no, I want it. And I was like, you can have it. Like that takes one check off the list for that mountain after that.
Yes.
Yeah, Indiegogo.
All right. Well,
And you can type in
definitely
you shouldn't have come back, but you don't have to. It comes up.
see.
I
But
tested
Well,
it
we're gonna
today.
put it in the description and the pinned comment as well. So
yes. No, we'll put it down there below. And is there a socials or anywhere you want them to follow so you can start like connecting
There
with
is
people?
that you shouldn't have come. Yes, there is an Instagram. You shouldn't have come back film.
Okay.
I'll send that to you as well.
Good.
And then I do a lot of the posting just on like my Instagram because I was late to think of the Instagram for the film. Duh. So that happened late, so it's a little bit behind. But all of my
There's
other
no
stuff
such
is on
thing
just
as
mine.
behind. There's no such thing. The present is
Yeah,
now.
you're
there
busy
is.
writing. You're busy
We're busy.
writing. You don't have
That's
time for
also
social
true.
media.
Yeah, I've
Yes.
actually I've started the sequel now. I've now jumped to the next leg of the whole journey, and
Let's go. Let's go.
yes,
Okay, so I'm gonna
it's
go
all
to
mapped out. I just haven't started it yet.
so I go to the Indiegogo. I'm gonna support. What kind of cool info and things do I get along the way? Should it be on your socials? That are you going to be sharing some little tidbits and stories to keep me hooked? Are you going to be how do I know how will I know what's happening basically?
I will be definitely doing my socials.
Okay,
I'm
love it.
very big on filling people in with like images and reels, and I've got a teaser video I'm gonna film probably this weekend. It was supposed to be that we made 75%. That hasn't happened yet, so I'll
Yeah.
film it anyway and
Good.
probably drop it anyway.
I love this.
Just because I'm dying to get into Jenny's shoes and the makeup and the just film. It's literally like a 30-second teaser of just something
love
that could
this.
be in the short, but not necessarily because I don't have the other actors. It's just me that's cast at the moment.
Good.
Benefit of being the writer.
Are you the lead? Are you the lead character?
I am. Yes, I am. I am playing
love
Jenny.
This.
Yeah, and my producer, who will be watching this eventually, so shout out to you, Brian.
Brian
asked me ask me a pivotal question of if another studio came in and said, we want to have, you know, Jennifer Lawrence or someone like that play Jenny, how would you respond? I would say, no, sorry.
I love that.
It's
I
me or
said
I'm
the same
walking.
thing.
Like, I'm not.
I said
No,
this-
sorry.
Yep. I said the
Good.
same thing about my books, so don't feel
It's
bad.
me. It's
But
me.
you wrote it free. But that's the
Where's the-
thing is that's what I love. And
Yeah.
if we're not betting
Exactly.
if we're not betting
Yeah.
on ourselves and our stories, then what are we doing? And I think that's like, to me, the greatest courage is showing up as yourself and willing to be vulnerable and willing to put yourself out there. So many, I mean, it is like you can hide behind other characters. We can, I mean, how many times do we take the safe route and go, oh, big studios will go, we'll take a story from a story from a story, because the idea of starting from scratch is very scary. It doesn't mean that, I mean, that's
It
why we
is.
love nostalgia. But so that's why, but I love seeing writers now going, not only am I going to write something, but I'm also going to put myself in it, just like Markiplier did with the Iron Lung, which I think is so cool. And with Rocky and Sylvester Stallone and,
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
all of it with,
Yep.
with
But the
Tom
thing is
Cruise
now,
and, you know,
the thing is with Rocky is they didn't want him to play Rocky, and it was
Nope.
his story. And now imagine Rocky as literally anybody
Yeah.
else. Like
Anyone
what?
else? No.
Yeah.
Well, I
No,
even
it
think of
doesn't
like,
work.
I think of even like Tyler Perry, and I'm like, dude, he owns 100% of his own content. They were talking about how there's more people that work with him that become millionaires because of the way he's just like with the community and creating. And I'm like, he's in all of it, like Medea. I remember watching the first time with my friends Medea. It was so,
Medea is like,
he's like
the best.
and he's like every character. And I'm like, this to me is the equivalent of going, you know what? I'm going to bet on myself. And betting on ourselves
Yeah.
starts now. And taking the journey of going, this is the story now, and I'm going to do another. I'm going to do another, and you just don't stop. And so I love. This is your
This
first
one does have
right?
an end game.
This one,
Yeah, this is the first one. This story does not go on for another 20 years, I promise.
No.
I
I'm
don't think I
saying
would
I
survive
get
doing it.
excited that we
But-
are here for your very first one, knowing that down the road
This
we're going to
is-
be like, we were here
Yep.
that first moment, and now we get to be here for all the rest. And so, congratulations already
Thank you.
to your future self. And I'm so fucking happy that we know each other and we get to have this moment. So,
Right?
And we finally got to have this call after
6 months, a year.
I still don't think we talked about Lord of the Rings enough, so we got to do it again.
We're gonna do
I want
another.
a Lord of the Rings
I'm down.
specific.
Anytime.
Let's go.
I'm down. Anytime.
No, I know we had to. That's why I was like, I need to make sure that we get we got to talk about what you're doing now. So I'll get this out, pretty quickly, because I want to make sure. You said it started already, the Indiegogo. It's going until March. What was
9th,
it?
end of day, like 11:59 p.m.
Okay, well then we're gonna jump scare this one ahead so we can get this out.
Yes.
So you all can see it. And dude, thank you so much. This has been Cody, thank you as well.
I think I need to get Bobby and her in touch.
Dude, no, we're gonna
love that.
Can we just do a podcast, all four of us?
Oh, that'd
Yes,
be dope.
please.
Yeah, I need to get.
I'll
I'll talk to
I need.
Bobby.
let's do it.
I'll talk to
Okay,
Bob.
yeah, I was like, I need to see
Yes.
all the writers. I tell him all the time. I was like, I always have so much fun when there's just like a group, and I'm just like, oh, this is a blast. I'm in my zone.
Yeah.
I'm like, this is the happiest place on earth.
100%.
Okay. Oh, and
I
I'll be
don't
getting
shred
this.
screen.
I love your
Yeah, it
loud
helps 'cause I
clicking.
don't use
You're
right screen. So you're clicking. Love it.
Sorry.
so loud.
I don't
My
just watch
keyboard
movies, I
is
write
like
books
click,
too,
click,
so.
click, 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 click.
He got
I
a
love it,
loud
though.
keyboard.
Oh.
He did a loud keyboard on purpose. Okay, so these will be coming. I have to shout out to Cody because these are the stickers, because we're doing our own little
They look
characters.
so cool.
And so I'm sending these
Yes.
out this week. So I'm gonna send these out, but I'm also gonna do like old archive stickers and just stick a whole bunch in the envelopes, just get everyone stuff. So, but
Yes.
to
love
more
it.
storytelling, and that's where we're excited, because I'm like, Cody and I, Miguel, we've been working on some like of our own story development behind the scenes.
We've
and,
been
like,
working our asses off. Let's just
we've been
be
working.
honest.
We have so much, dude. We're gonna be having. I'm so excited. So I'll let you know.
Yes.
We're we're gonna create the sub different discords, but we're gonna create just a creators discord for the creators
awesome.
in our community that can come in and literally like, so you'll be able to like, I would love like in there, you'll be able to like give updates to people. Like, hey, this is the film I'm working on. This is what I'm doing. So not only, because I was like, dude, not only do I want to celebrate it and, you know, promote the people that we love and everyone here, but also we want a Discord that's just for the creators to be like, this is what I'm working on. Here's what I can or can't share, but take everyone along the journey and we can inspire each other. We want to bring in people that are working and going, hey, like I want to bring in some of the people from our marketing side. So if they're going, hey, how do I market something? Then I can bring in someone to give free advice going, hey, here's a way that you can think about doing that. Or for like Cody was saying, like he's been able to publish his own books. Like he can be able to share with people, hey, this is how I'm publishing. You're going to be able to speak to people and go, hey, this is how I first started my first Indiegogo. A lot of people go, how do I start?
Yeah.
And I'm like, I want us as a community to really be supporting each other in that. And so we're going to have our Discord,
100%.
hopefully the end of March, middle of March. We want to launch that just for creators. We'll have always the Discord for Power Rangers and Big Time Rush and Teen Wolf and all those things. But I was like, and even Austin and Walter and James and all of them, because James is working on like a couple movies right now. I'm so happy for him. He's working on a book. He's also stuff. So he's like, I would love to be able to come in and us do a live stream and just like talk from a creator perspective, not just like, oh, I'm a fan of you or you were a childhood hero, but like, what is it like now as we're creating? Like Walter's about to drop this amazing movie. He's got I think it's his first big executive producer role. They just announced it on Deadline. Like he is so excited. And like, he's like his music that he's working on. I'm like, dude, seeing him and what he like, anyways, okay, I gotta wrap. This is exciting, but yes, great things to come. We'll do this again. We'll get Bobby. We'll get Bobby. We got to do a group. We got to do a group sesh. We'll do a Lord of the Rings.
Yes.
So I can let you guys.
We have to. Yes, 100%.
All right. Thank you, girl. I'll talk to you soon.
Bye.
Bye. Thank you. Bye.
See you later, Cody.
See you later, Cody.